Hello everybody, welcome to World Religions Philosophy 15 online for the spring 2017 term. I'm your professor, Dr. Andrea Diem, and you'll see the class set up for you on Moodle. It's not switched over to campus until the summer, so this is a Moodle course still. And you have at the very beginning here important dates to note, and this is again right out of Mount SEC's catalog, but do pay attention to the drop dates. Hopefully you do not drop, and if you're thinking about dropping, why don't you email me first and we'll see if we can remedy your grade before you decide to drop. I'd like to have the retention high in this class if possible. You'll see at the very beginning here information about very valuable links for you, and we have, for instance, the announcements here. I make announcements several times a week, at least on Mondays and Thursdays and probably other days as well. And the announcement is kind of maybe I make an announcement about a test or an assignment coming up, and just kind of keeping everybody informed and in the loop about how the class is set up and what's due and what's coming up. And then the orientation presentation you're listening to right now, so thank you for doing that. The course syllabus is something you need to read through the very first day of the term. You need to understand how the class is set up, how it's structured, what the grade assignments are, how it's broken down, what your research project's about. Just everything about the class is described for you in the syllabus. The schedule for the professor and for the student, click through that. It walks you through what my job is for the course and what I do every day in this 12-week course, and then your job as a student and what you do each and every week as well. The virtual chat is an optional link here. It's something where I'm required to kind of as an office hour have available to you guys. It's only in my fall and my spring terms that I'm required to by my contract. It's Mondays 6 to 7. Very rarely do students enter it. Most students contact me through one of two ways. There's the help form, which I check daily. I always am clicking into the help form to make sure there's any questions there that I will be available to help answer for you. It's the best way to contact me because with the help forum, not only do you get to ask a question, but other classmates could interact with you or they can help answer it. My response is something that they could read in case they had the same question. So it's the best way, and it really is putting this course more interactive versus emailing me. You are welcome to email me, though, at any time in the semester as well. So there's the two ways to really contact me in that way. I have on-campus office hours, just to let you know, on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning before my on-campus class. I believe it's 8:45 to 9:45 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But online students usually interact with me through online, although I wanted to let you know that was available. The where am I? I was up here. Virtual chat, yes. The introduction forum is where you introduce yourself to me and to your classmates the first week of the term, and you also read other students' introductions. Ideally read through the whole. I'd like you to read lots of students' introductions, not just a few, but you're required to respond to at least 3 to 5 of them. And it tries to create, the whole point of it is to create a more friendly online environment where students get to know each other at a better level than just reading each other's responses. You can know their names and a little bit about them and where they're transferring into or if they graduated already. Oftentimes in an online class, I have students from UCLA or graduate students from here or there, students that are accounting majors or, nursing majors and all these just interesting backgrounds. And so that's what we can learn about each other in the introduction forum. Help forum I have explained. The classroom forum, this is very important. This is the main forum for the whole semester, and it's where you're going to be posting your post work. There's 2 types of posts in this class. One is called an essay post, and one is called a pie post. So let me walk you through that really quickly. This class is 12 weeks long, and each week there's one lesson plan. And in each lesson plan, there's one post question, and that's called an essay post. And it's based on the reading and the films and asking for your position, having completed those on a topic. So it's not so much a summary based where you're just summarizing, but it's more your reflection having completed the material on it. And so that's called an essay post. Where you find those essay posts, you find them actually in the lesson plan. So lesson plan 1, you open it up for week 1. They will always follow the same structure of professors' lectures and notes, required reading, that's where you have your reading assignments, your films, that's where you have your film assignments, and then your post question. And so if you go into each lesson plan, you will see a post question, and that's an essay post. A pie post stands for participation, interaction, and effort, and this is where the whole point of the pie post is try to create, again, a friendlier, more interactive online classroom. I like students to feel like this is not an online class, but almost like so interactive it almost feels like an on-campus class, and students tell me that's often the case, and pie posts really contribute to that. So a pie post is a very simple assignment. Once a week, not only do you an essay post, but you also do a pie post, and you could read another student's essay post and write a response, a paragraph response. That is a pie post. or you could share with the class an interesting film link with a little paragraph summary of it that you found interesting, or your analysis, your reflection on it, or share with the class an article. Again, give us the link, tell us a little bit about it and your reflection on it. Or you can share with the class a current event that relates to world religions. Or you can ask an academic question about Hinduism or Buddhism, something you feel like we didn't cover in the essay post and you need a little bit of direction on. And other students can respond, I can respond. I always make sure I answer all of those academic PI questions. So the PI post, there's lots of ways to get credit here, and you do one a week. And then in addition to that, if you did more than the required, you can get extra credit. So that's where the effort grade comes in. You get extra effort points if you completed more than it's required. You don't have to in any way. Students do very well without doing that extra credit, but it's just to let you know that there is a way to gain some credit. And you want to do them per week, not throw them all at the end of the semester or throw them all at midterm time. You want to do them systematically through the semester. Okay, so that hopefully explains all the introduction material, and now we actually go into the 12 weeks. And as a 12-week course, this is considered an accelerated course. So the 54 hours that's required for this course, instead of doing it over a 6-week semester, which would be 3 hours a week, you're doing it over a 12-week semester, and so that is 4 to 5 hours a week online. And again, this is purely online with no on-campus time. You'll see that for week 1 and week 2, there's lesson plan 1, lesson plan 2. And this is our introduction material. We haven't yet covered a world religions in these 2 weeks. It's more introducing you to religious studies and what are its methodology, what are the trends in religious studies and so forth, and then understanding what meme theory is about and how it can relate to religions, not just new religions, but religions in general as well. For each 2 lesson plans, there's a study guide, and then there is a quiz. And the quiz covers just the 2 lesson plans at a time. It is, again, an objective Moodle quiz. Once you take it, it scores your quiz right away, so you get instant grade feedback. I know that's very important for online students. I usually curve it a couple points if just to pop the scores up a little bit, so I try to be as generous as possible. If by chance you don't do as well as you wanted on a Moodle quiz, you can always earn a lot of extra points by doing good post work, doing extra post work. I give you lots of, if you read through the syllabus, you'll see there's a section on extra credit, and I give you lots of extra credit opportunities. You can do an extra research project. So there's lots of ways to improve your score in this class. Week 3 and 4 is Hinduism and Jainism. Again, the 2 lesson plans. Hinduism is the hardest of the semester because it's where you learn all your Indian terms and concepts. Jainism's very, very much appreciated by students. They love this tradition, so a lot of students have never heard of it, so it's a really good one. And then week 5 and 6. And I call it midterm week. There's no midterm where there's a cumulative exam where it covers all of these. Rather, just like all the other weeks, you do a lesson plan, you do your post work and all of that, you have a study guide and a quiz. But what you do at the end of 6 weeks is you gather all your material in a packet called a website, and you email me the link, of which I grade through it and give you feedback before the drop date, make sure everybody's in good standing at that time. So that will be part 1 of the semester. It's all on Eastern religions except for the introduction. And you see the Eastern religions, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism. Little bit of Chinese religions here. And then we go into part 2, and part 2 of this semester is starts at week 7, and it's on Western religions. And it is going to be hidden from your view on Moodle until after the midterm because I want you just to concentrate on part 1 and not worry about part 2 yet, like each step at a time. And part 2 is week 7 through 12, which covers Islam and Sufism. And Islam really, historically, you would probably think, well, why is that coming first when it should go Judaism, Christianity, then Islam? But it goes first because I offer you guys an opportunity, if you're not Islamic and have never been to a mosque, for an extra credit research project. And I wanted you to learn about it in case you were interested in doing that. And so learn about it pretty early in the term here. And then we go to Judaism and biblical scholarship of the Hebrew Scriptures, and then Christianity and also biblical scholarship. And then you'll see we're at the end of the term, and here's the directions for closing out the course and what's due and everything. And at the end of the term, you will be, on your final website you're sending to me, your final packet of work, you'll have a research project. And the research project, I want you to start right after the midterm, right in here. And the research project is to investigate and go explore and attend a service of an Eastern religious tradition. And what I mean by Eastern is Hindu, Jain, Buddhist, or Sikh. And if or if you can find a Taoist temple, that's always an option. But why Eastern is because I wanted to expose you to something very different. We're all raised in a Western country, in a Western background. We're exposed to a lot of Western religions, but it would be very, I think, very fascinating for you to go to the Chino Hills Hindu temple, or go to the Buena Park Jain temple, or go to the Hacienda Heights Shilai Buddhist temple. And there's just lots of beautiful centers around Mount San Antonio College. There's also the Sikh temple. It's called a Sikh Gurdwara that is located in Walnut. So there's lots of opportunities for you to explore these traditions that are local to us, that are Eastern. And if you did a Western one for extra credit, or you can do a second Eastern. There's a few requirements though, and the syllabus explains it. It can't be someplace you visited before. You can't have any familiarity with it from your family background, even if you're not a member, say your mom and dad is. So something very foreign, very different to you, very hopefully exciting and interesting to you. Okay, so the qualifications are explained in the syllabus. And it's got to be a report you do for this class, not necessarily you did like 3 semesters ago for another class. Okay, so hopefully I've walked you through the part 1 and the part 2. Okay. And I think I've explained the course fairly clearly, hopefully. If not, there's the help forum always available to you. And I guess that's it. There's one little tiny note I'd like to add. I'm scrolling up and down, just checking everything. At the very end of week 3, the very beginning of week 4, right when we're covering Hinduism and Jainism, I am traveling to an academic conference in India, and I will be with my computer in hand, so hopefully connected to you guys. But there's one 5-day period. I'm gone for 14 days, but I'll have access to the internet most of the time except for 5 days, and that's when I'm in northern India in Amritsar at the Golden Temple. And I heard that it's very spotty up there, very tough to have a very strong internet connection. So that's interesting because we're heading to Sikhism, and you'll learn about the Golden Temple, and it should be an interesting academic conference I'll be attending. But for 5 days, it may be a little tough for me to have online access. But the rest of the semester, I'll be here with you, interacting, and hopefully you'll feel like this class is equal to the interaction of an on-campus class. Okay, I thank you for joining, and I wish you a wonderful semester. Namaste, everybody.